Okay, so today we're going to talk about my favourite new bits of equipment that I obtained in 2020. So this is not my favourite bits of 2020 or favourite bits of equipment that I used in 2020. This is my favourite bits of equipment I acquired in 2020. So these are all new, less than a year old, that I have been using and wearing and have found them to be really good. First thing is this top I'm wearing. This is the Alpkit Morphosis jacket. It's a windproof nylon polyester wind shell with a grid fleece lining, and I've been very impressed since I bought this early in the year. I think it was February I bought this. It's really nice to wear. It's really comfortable. You can wear it in lots of different situations. The insulation it gives is pretty good. The windproofing is pretty good. And I bought it really to replace another Alpkit bit of kit, my Griffin fleece that I had, and that's actually a really similar garment. It's a full-length zip grid fleece jacket, mid-layer with pockets, 3 pockets, a hood, zip all at the front. So it's very similar design to this, but it caught me out one day. I was up on top of a hill. Having used it lots of times, I had regularly worn it, but this was a particularly windy day, and I took it out of my backpack at the top of the hill to have a rest, and I was not getting that warm. I was getting a lot of wind through the fleece. I was a little bit disappointed with that, so I looked at sort of wind shell jackets and other types of layers, and again I ended up coming back to Alpkit, because I have quite a lot of Alpkit stuff. And they have this, the Morphosis jacket. I like all the Alpkit stuff that comes in a men's and ladies fit. It's almost exactly the same weight as the Griffin at about 310 grams, at least in the size that I'm wearing. It came out 313 grams on my scales. On the website it's 310, so that's pretty accurate. I like it a lot. It is warm. It is definitely windproof. Although Alpkit claim they designed it to be not completely windproof, so that you did get some ventilation and didn't get too sweaty when wearing it. And I think that's certainly true. I don't think it's 100% windproof, but for the weight, the warmth is very good. It's definitely far superior to my Griffin. I still love that, but I've pretty much stopped wearing that in preference to this one. The fact that it's got a full-length zip I like, so I can adjust the temperature very easy when walking up and down hills. The hood's nice, and the fact that it's got 3 pockets is very useful, if not on the hill, but even just everyday life. I wear this an awful lot now that I've got it. In terms of things I don't like about it, it's a little bit staticky. If you're wearing it a lot around the house, for example, so I sometimes get a bit of static shock when I'm wearing it. That's to be expected considering the materials and the kind of the use that I'm using it, but sometimes that just catches me off guard. The other thing I don't like about it was that when I first got it, I felt the cut around the armpits was very tight, and I was concerned that with prolonged wear or with a backpack on that it was going to get uncomfortable. That has proven not to be the case actually, but it is a little bit tight. If you're a bulkier person, you may find you may have to go up a size purely to get the arms to fit comfortably. Otherwise, I really like it. I felt it was good value for money. I got it in the sale as well, actually. So they're normally about £100. I got mine for 70 something, I think. Lining is interesting in that it's a roof lining, which you may be familiar with, but it's not everywhere. It's optimised so that it's in the places you want to keep warm, and it's not where you don't necessarily need it. So, for example, in the inside of the arms here and down the side of the body, there's no insulation there. And that saves a little bit of weight, but it also means you don't get too sweaty when you're stomping up a hill. It's got elasticated cuffs. The cut of it is interesting. There is this kind of triangular little bit that comes down over the back of the hand, although I find, I don't know if you can see this on my sleeves, I find the sleeves tend to twist, and so that bit never ends up being on the back of my hand. It tends to be around the side, or sometimes even on the underside. So that hasn't quite worked as I think they intend it to be, but overall it's a very comfortable jacket to wear and works very well. This combined with the next item I'm going to talk about, I've been able to wear this jacket in low temperatures Recently I was out in 4 degrees, light breeze, with this and just one layer underneath, perfectly acceptable. Even in a light rain shower, I did not get cold with my backpack on. The backpack did help keep my back and kidneys warm, obviously, but overall I didn't feel cold at all. I wasn't even wearing a hat at that point, and that's in 4 degrees. I've worn it colder than that, and it's plenty warm enough for the weight. So that's it, the Alpkit Morphosis jacket. Highly recommended purchase of 2020. So my second great purchase of 2020, so much so that I actually went back and bought another one, is actually what I'm wearing underneath. So this is, I'm going to have to get the name right, this is the men's long-sleeved travel trekking merino wool t-shirt Travel 100. And that's from Decathlon. So it's a bit of a long-winded name. Basically, it is a long-sleeved merino wool t-shirt, and the reasons I like it are the following. One, it is genuinely warm enough. Two, it's long-sleeved. It's a mixture of merino and acrylic, so it's 70% merino, 30% acrylic. It's not itchy, as some wools can be. Merino typically isn't itchy. It genuinely does resist becoming smelly. I've worn this for 4 or 5 days. Not necessarily 4 or 5 days on the trail, but certainly 4 or 5 days with 2 days on the trail, and it hasn't got particularly smelly, which is really nice. The fit's pretty good. The price is excellent. These are £20 if you buy them at full retail price. I tend to try and buy my kit on sale, so I think my first one I bought was 16, but it was so good I was happy to pay full price when I went back and got my second one. It's got a V-neck. Some people like that, some people don't. Personally, I think in this type of garment, that's actually the right thing to do. In terms of weight, it's 160 grams on my scale, so it's pretty lightweight, very easy to throw in a backpack. And the reason I got my second one is I may be using that in future as a sleeping layer, rather than some synthetic long sleeve top and bottom combinations that I've been previously using. So definitely recommend this from Decathlon. They have a great range of merino wool equipment actually, so they do one that's a higher level than this with a slightly better quality merino. It's a little bit more expensive, and I didn't feel that was necessary for the price increase, but they have a great range of merino stuff, and in fact at the moment this particular shirt is on sale half price. It's £10 in certain colours on the Decathlon website. My third recommendation for great bits of kit that I've purchased in 2020 is another bit of my clothing, another item of clothing. It is a pair of trousers, and these are the Kühl Konfident Air trousers. When I was in America doing a section trek of the Appalachian Trail at the end of 2019, I noticed there were a lot of people wearing Kühl branded clothing. That people who'd purchased them seem to be very, very happy with them. I've got a lot of good recommendations. Before being in America, I hadn't actually noticed the brand. I hadn't seen it in the UK. When I came back, I had a quick look, see if it was available in the UK, and it was. One of my local outdoor stores stocks it. That's Taunton Leisure. Recommend them, by the way. So went and bought a pair when they went on sale. So the retail on these is £80, which is quite a lot for a pair of trousers. I got mine for 56. I see they're currently on sale for 72 at Taunton Leisure, and they may be available other places. The things I really like about them are that they're pretty lightweight, considering their full length. They feel really comfortable to wear. They're also pretty compact and lightweight. They pack down pretty small. I put this on the scales and they're 345 grams, which is pretty light for a full pair of trousers. The material is soft to wear and it seems easy to clean. These were covered in mud before they got thrown in the washing machine for about, say, 15 centimetres around the bottom. They come out really clean, so it seems to be easy to keep them clean. So overall, I really like them, but there are some problems with them. The main one is that the pockets are all too shallow. It's very weird. These two in front of pockets in particular, not shallow enough to get my mobile phone in. Okay. The back pockets similarly also quite shallow. If you put something in there, I wouldn't be surprised if it worked its way out after a couple of miles of walking along. They do have a zipper pocket on the thigh, and that is big enough to get a phone in. I don't like walking with heavy things on my thighs. They just sort of clonk around. I don't feel that if I bumped into something, they'll give very good protection. So a little bit disappointed with the pockets, but that is the only drawback I have with these trousers. The reason they're called Confident Air is because the lining is mesh, and every single pocket lining is mesh. So they have great ventilation. So if you're wearing these and it's a particularly hot and sticky day, then you won't get too hot. In the UK, we have quite a lot of days where the weather isn't really that warm, so I do like to walk often in long trousers rather than shorts, although I do both. But certainly when you're going through a path that's less commonly trod and there's stuff on the side like brambles or thistles, these can protect you a little bit better than obviously not having long trousers on. So that's my third purchase that I've been very happy with in 2020, the Kühl Confident Air trousers. Would recommend. Final purchase of 2020 that I've been very happy with is not an item of clothing. It is in fact the Staresso espresso maker. So in terms of drinking coffee, I normally drink tea, but I have recently taken to having a coffee once a day. At home that's very easy to do. I've got an espresso machine which I use, or I'll go to a cafe. Obviously not doing that so much in 2020. So what I wanted is something that I could make proper coffee with when car camping. This is just a little bit too heavy to carry around for a multi-day hike, although it would be fine on a short one-day hike. If you're one of those people who likes coffee more than once a day, that might be something you would choose to do. It is 455 grams, so it's just under half a kilogram as it is complete. Obviously you need coffee, water and milk if you are going to do that. Price-wise it's £50 on Amazon, which I thought was pretty reasonable for the build quality. It is pretty well made. I don't know how durable it's going to be. I've only used it car camping, but it does work. That's the most important thing. It does make fresh espressos, and you can even froth milk with it, although that's a little bit of a cheat. In terms of how it works, you have a lower section which contains your coffee cup. A lot of the online reviews complain that the cups don't seem to fit in there very well, they sit flat or that they break. So far mine's been totally fine. It is a proper genuine coffee glass. It's quite heavyweight, so that's probably a quarter of the weight of the whole thing just there. So you might be able to reduce some weight by substituting that for something else. But the bottom half screws together, keeps the glass in place and protected when in your backpack. The top half is the part that makes your coffee. So you unscrew the top and fill that with your hot water. And then the lower section unscrews, and that contains the little basket for your coffee. So you need ground coffee for this to work, obviously. You could even grind your own coffee if you wanted to on the trail, but I think that's getting a little bit excessive. If you're doing that, then you may need to rethink your coffee habit. In terms of pressurising this and forcing the water through, there's a pump on the top, which is a spring-loaded release, and you literally just pump this, and then the hot water is forced through the coffee, drains out here into your cup. So tried this on a few occasions. It does work. It's a little bit messy if you're making more than one shot. So once you've finished making your first shot, you then have to disassemble this, take this out, clean it, dry it, put more coffee in, and make another one. And it really does only make one shot at a time. So if you're making a drink for somebody else, it's a little bit fiddly, but that's the price you pay for the compactness and the convenience. The top part, which contains your spring-loaded pump, that's the part that forces the water through under pressure through the coffee to make your actual espresso. but you can also use that to froth your milk. So I have tried that, and it did actually work surprisingly well. So if you have warm milk and then you use this to pump away into milk, it does froth it up a little bit. It's not the same as a steam frother. You're not going to get that kind of velvety milk that you get from a proper machine. It puts a bit of a foam on the top. It's probably the best I would describe that. But overall, I was very impressed with this. It did exactly what I wanted it to. It did it in a fairly compact form, and you can obviously transport it like that or in 2 halves. And you can shove whatever coffee and stuff you want in there. So I actually thought that was a pretty decent way of making coffee on a day hike or car camping. As I said, these aren't my favourite bits of equipment of all time, because it's just my new bits that I've acquired in 2020. Leave your comments below if you've picked up any new items of kit that you found particularly good during 2020. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe if you want to. Hopefully you're going to be putting out some more videos about kits that you can buy with a UK-centric view in the next couple of months. So there you have it, my favourite new items of 2020. Hopefully 2020 was okay for you, and that 2021 will be a little bit better, particularly if you want to go outdoors. Apologies if I use the word Alpkit multiple times in this video. They are not paying me. That's purely my fault.